Hey everyone, what's up? I'm here to tell you 5 amazing facts you won't believe about the legend of Senna. Who here has never heard of Ayrton Senna? Impossible, right? The guy is like a myth, a legend, the ultimate idol. But do you know everything about him? Senna was much more than a driver. He was a symbol of overcoming challenges, grit, and love for Brazil. He put our country's name up high, on top of the podium. And that, my friends, is priceless. It's like winning the World Cup, but every year. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into Senna's story and discover 5 crazy facts about this guy's life. Get ready to be amazed, because these stories are awesome. Hit that like button to show your support, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the video. Senna was known for his grit, his will to win, like a real go-getter in Formula 1. But what many people don't know is that behind all that determination, there was an almost insane obsession with perfection. And when I say obsession, folks, it's a serious obsession. Like he would even dream about the races, reviewing every turn, every detail. During practice, he wasn't just the guy who accelerated the most, he was the guy who studied the most, who analyzed every curve, every detail of the car. He was always looking for the perfect move, only behind the wheel. Seriously, the guy would spend hours and hours reviewing the data, the footage, looking for that thousandth of a second that would make all the difference. And it wasn't just with the car, no. Senna was obsessed with everything. Tire temperature, weather conditions, even the humidity, like a walking weather forecast. And the weirdest thing is that he felt these things. He would notice tiny changes in temperature right away. It was something out of this world, like a sixth sense for driving. This relentless pursuit of perfection made him a legend. He didn't just want to win, he wanted to be the best, the fastest, the most precise. And this relentless pursuit led him to push boundaries that no one had ever dared to push before. That's why he was called the Rainmaster, folks. Because in conditions that would make other drivers shake in their boots, he simply dominated. It was as if the rain was his ally, as if he danced with it on the track. Senna was a citizen of the world, internationally recognized, like a pearl of the racetrack. But he never forgot his roots. He had an unconditional love for Brazil and made a point of showing it in every race, every interview, every gesture. And one of the most touching stories about this love for Brazil is the story of the small flag he carried inside the car. Yes, folks, he raced with a little Brazilian flag right there in the cockpit, close to his heart. And he had a ritual. Every time he won a race, he would take this little flag and take a victory lap around the track. It was so emotional. The first time he did this was at the Detroit Grand Prix in 1986. The crowd went wild. That simple gesture, but full of meaning, became Senna's trademark. It was as if he was telling the whole world, this victory is for Brazil. And the coolest thing is that his attitude went far beyond the symbolic gesture. Senna always took a stand on the country's social problems. He used his visibility to fight for a better Brazil. He really cared about the Brazilian people, and that only increased the adoration people had for him, like a national hero. Senna was an idol on the track, but off it, he was an amazing human being. And one of the most beautiful things about him was his generosity. Seriously, folks, the guy had a heart of gold. He donated a lot of money to social projects in Brazil, but he did it as discreetly as possible. He didn't want the spotlight, he didn't want to show off, he just wanted to help those in need. Like he did good without looking at who. And after his death, it was discovered that he helped a lot more people than we imagine. He funded education projects to fight poverty, all quietly, without fanfare. He really wanted to make a difference in people's lives. He wanted a better Brazil for everyone. And to continue this beautiful legacy, his family created the Ayrton Senna Institute. These folks do amazing work, helping millions of children and young people across the country, giving them the opportunity to have a better future through education. Senna was proof that we can be successful without losing our humility, without forgetting where we came from, without getting a big head. He used his fame and his money to do good, and that's what makes him an example for all of us. Senna's passion for speed started early, folks, like really early. At 7 years old, the kid was already driving a kart that his dad made especially for him. Imagine the scene. Mini Senna speeding here and there, already showing he had tons of talent, like a little speed demon. But even before the kart, little Senna was already taking his first steps in an unusual place, a modified Jeep. That's right. Mr. Milton da Silva, Senna's dad, noticed his son's interest in cars and modified a Jeep so he could drive on the family farm like a private motorsport playground. And Senna, being a little genius from a young age, mastered the Jeep quickly. And that's when Mr. Milton saw that this kid had a knack for it. It wasn't long before he gave Senna a kart as a gift, and from there, you know the story. The kid started competing, winning everything he saw, and quickly became one of the biggest names in national karting. And the rest, as they say, is history. This story about the modified Jeep shows that Senna's passion for speed was in his blood, folks. He was born to race, to push limits, to be the best. And he chased his dream with all his might from a young age. Senna was a born competitor, everyone knows that. Like total focus during the race, but he was also a guy who put life above any rivalry. And this story I'm going to tell you now really shows the guy's character. During the Belgian Grand Prix in 1992, driver Ayrton Senna had a nasty accident on the track. His car spun, crashed, and was totally wrecked like a crushed soda can. The situation was critical, and worse, the car's engine was still running, which increased the risk of explosion. And who had the courage to stop their car in the middle of the race to help? Yes, Senna. He didn't think twice, folks. He stopped his car, jumped out, like an action movie scene, and went straight to Senna's car. He turned off the engine, preventing a tragedy, and even stayed there, providing support until the medical team arrived, like a guardian angel on the track. That act of courage and solidarity moved the whole world. Senna proved that even in a competitive environment like Formula 1, we can never lose our humanity. He showed that sportsmanship and compassion should always be above any competition. Senna's actions that day were etched in Formula 1 history and serve as an example for all of us. Senna was much more than a driver, he was an extraordinary human being. So, guys, did you enjoy learning a little more about the legend of Senna? The guy was really amazing, wasn't he? An example of talent, determination, and humanity. Did you already know these stories? Which one impressed you the most? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to share this video with everyone who's also a Senna fan. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't